Our constitution gives us a time to campaign. You are supposed to be campaigning on a serious note 3 months to the date of elections. This time that Ruto is using to campaign, he should be using it to develop this country. But he wants to put everybody into a campaign mode. But having said that, atakuwa na sisi. Atakuwa na sisi hivi karibuni, maybe in a couple of hours. Development you see. You don't talk about it. You see. Wewe ukikuja hapa kwa ofisi umeona nini imejengwa? What I have seen happening now, and it's very tricky, is we are getting more roads potholed. We are getting more and more of our roads potholed all over the country. And it's a fact. This was not the case. So, and roads are a good indicator as to whether there is anything you are doing. This Rironi to Maramba Road, we are heading again to another festive period where we are going to see people sleeping overnight hapa kwa hii barabara. A contract had been signed by Uhuru before he left office. William cancelled it. Signed another one more expensive by more than 20 billion. Lakini hata kwa contract hakumwamini, hajakuja. So in terms of performance, I would advise Ruto, talk less, let us see it. When you talk about it, it means you have done nothing. If you have to explain it, it means that there is a problem. They have continued to deny that they are on a campaign mode, but you can actually see Monday this week, they met the church leaders from Kiabu, all of them here at State House. Today, there is another meeting of church leaders at KICC. So Ruto has gone back to the same script that he used for 2022. Na makanisa, tafadhali, mulituuza 2022, musituuze tena. Even if they are coming to churches and you don't want them to announce the money, we are also church goers and we are even in church leadership. We know the meaning of offerings, thanksgiving, tithing, all these things. So even you start telling them, weka pale na usiseme ni ngapi, si baadaye utahesabu na ujue ni ngapi. Na wanaweka na bahasha na kila mtu ameandika jina yake kwa bahasha. So I think the churches needs to do better than they are doing. We can see they have made good efforts, but they need to do better than that. I don't want to say more than that. I want to leave it at that. These are some of these individuals are known to us, but this is on a light touch or a light note. Usiseme musiandike hii na hii ndio mtaandika zaidi. See, I was attending a bar yesterday at Laikipia, and some people came and introduced themselves in various names. And it made me remember that when Moi was in power, he left us with a group within the mountain called Mogeki. Na tumekaa na wao na marafiki zetu. Now Ruto is going to leave us with another group called Itugati. Those in the mountain wake up and smile like coffee. Why do you want to be profiled every time? The Mogeki leader is Maina Jenga. Na anajulikana. Hii Itugati sijui kiongozi ni nani. Naona kama unacheka kama unajua wewe. Wewe utakuja kutuambia. But I think it is important that we organize ourselves in political parties so that if you are talking about power is seized through political parties. And we in Jubilee are ready to seize power. We were there before. Now we will have an activity in the coming days, and like we have said before, we have our presidential candidate. I was happy to see that the others are now recognizing that Jubilee has a presidential candidate. Ilikuwa shida kwa wao, lakini tutaendelea mpaka wajue ya kwamba dunia ni kujipanga, sio kupangwa vile watu wanapanga wengine. We are doing worse than we were doing more than 2 years ago, with all the promises that they made. But that is, with total, I think it's good to bounce it against what is happening at the national and the global level. Then, 2022, a liter was costing $100 in a barrel, not a liter. Today, it is costing $61. So they are buying at a cheaper price, but selling at a much higher rate than was being done before. Evidence of their continued mismanagement of our affairs. And we urge them to ensure that Kenyans also benefit from the low prices of the market at the global level. We want them to ensure that Kenyans also benefit from the low cost of fuel that is being experienced by other parts of this planet. Another issue that is of concern to us is this issue of organ trafficking. I've seen a report by Duare that was released, this is yesterday, and they are owning up to the fact that they have always known that there was organ trafficking in the country. He says that they set up a task force on the 5th of December 2023 to look into this issue, meaning that they knew that organs were being harvested in this country. And in the report on the statement that he issued, the statement clearly says that they actually know that the processes was being done without going through any laid down procedure within our country. And he also acknowledges that we do not have a legal framework to guide the issue of either donation or any form of transplantations that is being done in the country. To date, we have not had a bill being introduced in Parliament to regulate this whole process. So it is very sad to see a government owning up to the fact that organs are being harvested in this country. And they are only owning up because we have young people. Like you can see, this young man who was promised about 1 million shillings. He didn't get it. Now he wants to commit suicide. It's only after the issues have been brought out that the government is owning up, or those in government are owning up. Another case of really mismanagement of our affairs. How is it that individuals from countries like Australia, because he has it in his own report here, he has said that people are coming from as far as Australia, Israel, Japan, USA, and UK for kidney transplant in our country. They are coming from countries that are more advanced in terms of medical provisions, and it means that they must have seen a loophole which they are exploiting, and he has actually owned up to it. What is amazing is that Duale has accepted that there is organ trafficking in this country, and they have known it since 2023, and they have done nothing. This is just a statement. Very sad, because this is an issue that is affecting Kenyans, and knowing how desperate Kenyans are because of the poor management of our affairs by the KK, we do not want to see Kenyans thinking that the only way they can earn a living is by selling their organs. They must make sure that they protect Kenyans better than they are doing. The other issue that has also come that we want to talk about is mambo ya wizi ya pesa e-citizen. The statement that was released by Mwaura, the government spokesman, again confirms that our money was wired to a Swiss bank. He's talking of a pilot program. He's confirming that they sent our money to a Swiss account. And they are saying that they have now completed that process. We are now back to normal payments. Where is our 6.5 billion shillings now that he has agreed? Where is our 6.5 billion shillings? The only amount of money that we know. How much more had they wired to the Swiss bank before it was brought out by you people in the media? Now this is now corruption being done with authority from State House. Because there's no way you'd wire money from this outside this country to any other account other than the consolidated bank account, consolidated account or FAD account, unless you have authority from William Ruto himself. So how much more has he allowed to be wired outside? And when are we going to get it back? I think it's also important to talk a little bit more about this e-citizen business. They have confirmed now that 22,000 services are being paid for through the e-citizen. 22,000 services. So what Ruto did is, first of all, he made sure that every service that you are getting from the government, there before free, we are paying for it. Then he created a platform through which all that money must be collected. For every transaction, 50 bob is being charged. The companies that are now doing it, the person is already known: Pesa Flow Limited, Olive Tree Media Limited, Webmaster Kenya Limited. Are receiving well over 700-900 million shillings a day, and they are earning 50 shillings from every transaction. A total of about 1.5 billion shillings a year. We know the people who signed for these contracts, but who owns these entities? Who are these government officers who found it necessary to hijack a vision that was meant to ensure that government services were consolidated? They were being managed from one point, and they quickly saw a cash cow, because the intention of e-services before was to ensure that you get government services from one roof. They have completely changed that whole concept, and they now are seeing it as a cash cow, to a point where it has become now a national security risk, because we are now in the hands of private companies who are not ready to let go the cow they have been milking with others. So the long and short of it is that these are scandals that have been put before us, and as a party, we would want government to answer them properly, to give us explanations as to why these issues would continue happening while they are in office, and we